I was inspired to write The Story You Need to Tell because I have a passion for words and stories. I think that words, stories, and our personal writing can help to heal us and grow us and transform us. In 2012, I found out I had breast cancer. And when you have a cancer diagnosis, it can be quite traumatic. You have to begin to navigate the medical world, and you have to find your own options and ways of coping. Because I'd been a writing teacher, I turned to my personal writing, and I found it helped. As I went through treatment and biopsies and surgeries, I had a profound insight. And the insight was that my personal writing had been valuable to me all through my life. I had used it not just when I had cancer, but I was also using it when my brother had died a tragic death. And it had helped me when I was much younger and I'd had a second baby and I was suffering from postpartum depression. So I was intrigued. I wanted to know how and why personal writing had such personal power for me. I immersed myself in the research and I began to work with cancer patients and then veterans, and I helped them write and tell their stories. I was absolutely thunderstruck by what I learned. I learned that our personal writing can be both a therapeutic tool and a transformational tool. And I needed to share this. It seemed like a natural thing to write a book. I think we all have a story we need to tell. I think our lives in this day and age are whizzing past us so quickly, almost like the speed of a comet, that oftentimes we ignore or pretend difficult events are not happening to us. And when we do this, unfortunately, we allow them to get buried in our inner psyche. And when they are buried there, we oftentimes will struggle. We will have physical or psychological problems. By sharing our story, we have a chance of changing this. There are over 200 studies that show us that our personal writing can heal us. For example, our writing can work with us psychologically, it can work with us socially, it can work with us physically, it can even work with us spiritually to help lift our moods, to help lower doctor appointments, to help us experience fewer symptoms of depression, and certainly it can help to increase our well-being. And I think all of these benefits are things we want in our lives. The biggest takeaway that I hope readers of The Story You Need to Tell will find is the power of story transformation in their personal lives. Neuroscience tells us that we have the power to change. And clearly, story transformation can give us an outline and guidance in making our lives better. There are very logical steps to it. To begin with, if you experience a personal hardship, such as a death in the family or a car wreck, you can probably count on experiencing trauma and shock, and that takes time. You need that time to integrate that bad experience into your life. Elie Wiesel, the famous author, said when he left the concentration camps after World War II that it would be at least 10 years before he would write about it. But he did write about it, and that's an important piece in story transformation. He broke his silence, he found his voice, and he shared his stories with us in powerful ways. And that's what we can do. We can break our silence and begin to grasp our emotions and make sense of them and start to put a frame around our story and move forward. That's when we have renewed energy and we have the power to really begin that process of story transformation. We can make changes we want in our lives. We can rewrite our story in the way we want. We can start to find new meaning. We can start to be more creative, and we can start to live our lives fully. This power of story transformation and our ability to use it personally is what I want my readers to find.